guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Walker Ford in super sunny Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? I have that original pony car of a muscle car that still gets people's hearts pitter-pattering. This is it. This is a 2022 Mustang GT, but it's not any Mustang GT. This has the featured color of grabber blue making a return. But before we get into this V8-powered performance car, let's talk about what's going on here. The Mustang, it's been around since 1964 and a half. None of the competition, whether it's the Chevrolet Camaro or the Dodge Challenger, has been in constant production since its birth date. The Camaro took a hiatus, the Challenger took a hiatus. It's gonna be interesting to see as we move towards electrification. We know that the Camaro is meeting its demise, the Challenger's going bye-bye, but the Mustang GT is still here. Now, the great news is, when it comes to the Mustang, everybody has a Mustang story. Whether you own one, whether your friend had one, your neighbor, maybe you proposed to your husband or wife in a Mustang GT, that adds to the history of the vehicle being not only a car icon, but also a cultural icon. Now, what I want to find out is, if you want to have and hold on to those muscle car days, especially as we go towards electrification, is this worth the price to go Mustang GT, or are you better off going with one of the main competition? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our 2022 Grabber Blue GT and find out. First of all, right off the bat, you would have to be blind to not see this color. Grabber Blue does exactly what the name says. It grabs your attention and it holds on to it. Now, just like we showed you before, you're still getting that same style on this particular platform. And what's gonna happen is after the S550 platform gets demised, that's when we're gonna see the new platform coming. So you're still getting your LED headlights. I still think that LED tri-bar daytime running lamps are one of the best features visually that shows off this Mustang GT. You do have your lower lighting on the bottom, more exterior lighting, and we do have functional air curtains that go into that triangular area. I don't know if you remember me saying, but believe it or not, when this refresh came out in 2018, designers actually looked at Darth Vader's helmet for inspiration of this design. And I could see it. I hope you could see it, because that's what they say. Now, as we come across the front grille, this particular one has a very popular option for the price. It's the black accent package. So what you're gonna notice is, normally the chrome pony, the Mustang horse, is, instead of it being chrome, is gloss black. That's gonna match nicely with the honeycomb grille, and the gloss black around the perimeter blends in really clean. This is specific to the GT, having the gloss black upper grille. You work your way down, it's gonna be a mixture of gloss black with some flat black, and this is your standard splitter. If you want a larger splitter, you could go Mustang GT Performance Pack, or of course, step up to a Mach 1. But definitely in its regular Mustang GT form, still looking very muscular from the front end. Now, when we get up onto that low slung hood, very long hood, you have the classic twin heat extractor setup like you would find on those 1970 Mustangs. And what's great is that, guess what? This style of this hood makes sense because Grabber Blue first made its appearance all the way back in the summer of 1969. And here it is in model year 2022, making that return. We come around the bend. What else are you getting on this particular Mustang GT? This having the black accent package, you are getting these 19 by 8.5 inch wheels. Simple 5-spoke design, 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and they're wrapped in Pirelli P0 all-season tires. If you want more performance out of your wheel and tire, I highly recommend the Performance Pack. It gives you an assortment of goodies from front to back, including a little bit more aggressive wheel and tire setup, but you'll notice the large powder-coated gray calipers, 4-piston calipers. And you know what? Like I said, from a clean, simple design, this definitely screams clean muscle car. and you know what? You still got that V8 power. Now coming down the side, you got our blacked out 5.0 badge. That's part of the black accent package. We have our gloss black mirror caps, and I think one of my favorite parts about the black accent package that works well on this Grabber Blue is the gloss black painted roof. It's not wrapped, it's actually painted. That helps cut some of this bright color down just enough. And it has a wonderful metallic flake to it. Grabber Blue has a nice metallic flake. You're gonna have the usual side sill extension. And then as we're working towards the rear, we got the same setup, 255 on the width, just like up front, with the silver grayish calipers, floating rear calipers in the back. And then coming around the tail end of the business, we got a little bit more. Black accent package brings you this gloss black trunk lid spoiler. And then of course the chrome GT badge is blacked out as well. It makes sense, black accent, blacked out. We got our tri-bar LED taillights. There's that wonderful metallic flake in the Grabber Blue, been around since 1969. It comes and goes. It's one of those colors that it comes for a while and it's around and then it disappears. But what doesn't disappear is that quad tip exhaust. Love this style, nice slash cut. That is the Ford Performance Active exhaust. So think about it. Unlike the original muscle car days where you just piss everybody off or get the cops' attention, you could actually make your GT a little bit quieter. But you know me, I'm all about pissing everybody off with some unthrottle action. But definitely the quad tips looks really great. And I've always liked the way they work the diffuser. Flat black with the way they got the reverse light down below. But why don't we pop the hood and see what the power plant is of this 5-liter Mustang. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. The other competitors, both the Challenger and the Camaro, have hydraulic hood struts. So let me know how you feel about this prop rod. But underneath the hood, you have probably one of the world's largest engine covers. I could actually use this as a surfboard down on the Atlantic side of Florida. But what I do like about the cover is that it's got the Powered by Ford badge and the 5-liter, that 5-liter V8 power plant. The thing is that if we took this off, let me just see the intake runners. Let me see the throttle body that's peeking underneath it. Those are the things that as a car guy or a car girl, I definitely want to see. But what do we got power-wise? Comparing this to the Challenger, comparing this to the Camaro, especially the SS, you're looking at a 5-liter V8. Remember, for 2022, they actually lowered the horsepower. 450 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. So if you were to get a Camaro SS, that's 5 less horsepower. Remember, this is a overhead cam V8, whereas both the Challenger and the Camaro have pushrod V8s. This does have the 10-speed automatic, or you could get a 6-speed manual. 0 to 60 in about 4.2 seconds. Quarter mile is going to zoom by at 12.8 seconds at 115 miles an hour, and the top speed is governed to 163 miles per hour. Now, if you're concerned about MPGs, you're looking at the wrong vehicle. Let me go try to find you a Mach-E or a Toyota Prius that's in the pre-owned area here at Walker Ford. MPGs, 15 in the city, 24 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 3,850 pounds. But you know what? One of the great things about a muscle car is not just the cubic inches underneath the hood, but how it gives you an eargasm when you fire it up. So let's go ahead. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's listen to this V8 purr. All right, guys, we're inside this Mustang GT, Grabber Blue, new color return for 2022. What you're probably saying to yourself is, Joe, I want a muscle car. I've always wanted one. I've always played it safe. I got myself some little 4-cylinder hatchback and just was safe. I want to be reckless, and I want to have a muscle car. How much is this Mustang GT? Very good question. So this one, it's unique. It's like it has some options, but then it doesn't have some options. So obviously with the color, With the black accent package, you're also going to notice that this does have the leather interior and some other nice technology in here. The whole kit and caboodle, you're looking at an MSRP of $48,900. Let's see how it stacks up to the Camaro and the Challenger. To the door panels, I do still like the nice style, classic style, especially with the contrast stitching. Really gives it just a little bit extra nice touch to it. I know some people are saying, well, Joe, this has been around for a while, since 2015, and you are 100% correct, but there are big changes coming, but who knows, you may not like the changes. Door pocket is gonna be on the tight side, so maybe one Nathan's hot dog with some relish and a can of good old Pepsi to wash it down. Going from the door panel to the dash, I do like the way on this particular Mustang GT, we got this silver aluminum finish, really breaks up the sea of black plastic in here. You got the classic Mustang logo there. Let your passenger stare at that while you're flooring it down the quarter mile. I like the AC vents, they're easy to use and they look classy. And then guess what? 8-inch infotainment system. I'm okay with it. I don't need a 24-inch screen in my car, but I know some people want to see it change. We'll see what the new generation is, but the great news is you got all your AC controls right from the screen. It is the touch screen, but it is the older operating software, the Sync 3 system. You do get your dual climate, which is great, and then there's your 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and your dual climate controls. We got the P51 Fighter Pilot toggle switches. I'll show you more of that on the business end. Aluminum start-stop button, USB-A, and then you know what this area is for? It's for the Twinkie that you give to your competitor as a consolation gift when you beat them in the quarter mile. This guy right here, this isn't for your F16, this is for the 10-speed automatic. I do like the way they do a leather shift knob on it. My preferred transmission, of course, is going to be the 6-speed manual. You got the Mustang Pony, all that history on the key fob. You got the remote start, so when you're coming out of GNC with your steroids and stuff, you could do a remote start and scare everybody in the parking lot. Soft touch material, some stitching, but it would have been nice to have the contrast stitching, so I am going to zonk that. Open this up, what do you got? You got a USB-A, and you got enough room in here for a 1/24th scale model of a Mustang GT. It's kind of hard to look at the outside of your car while you're driving, so what some people like to do is actually have a 1/24th scale model so that they could stare at it while they're driving down the road. It's, hey, when you're a car person, you're a car person. We do some freaking weird things. Seats, leather, super soft, stitching, bolstering is not too crazy, definitely more than a Challenger. And then you'll notice that you do have power assist for the passenger, only on the bottom. Mustangs have the manual back, which is a zonk. And I know some of you say, well, Joe, when you're in a car accident, you could get the passenger out faster in the back seat, or the passenger could get faster into the back seat. Mercedes have power seats, both top and bottom, BMWs, lots of different cars, so that's not the reason. It's a cost-cutting feature. But why don't you come over here at the business end? I want to show you behind this leather-wrapped steering wheel in our Mustang. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this muscle car. We have the aluminum sill plate. This lights up Mustang at night. And then pedal box. You actually get an aluminum brake pedal and throttle. The big zonk is I would like a little larger dead pedal, and I would like that to be in aluminum as well. Seat controls, just like the passenger side. We got our seat controls located nicely, easy to get to. Still those manual backs. That's kind of a waste to me. The nice thing about the Mustang over the Camaro is you do have a little bit more open experience inside. If you want the most space, you would need to go Challenger. Steering wheel, leather all the way around. I'm not really loving the design of this Mustang Pony on the steering wheel. I hope they change that for the next generation, but I do like all the flat black buttons. You do have plastic paddles behind the wheel to go up and down the 10-speed automatic, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And the dash is your traditional analog tach, speedometer, fuel gauge, coolant gauge, and then there is a small 4-inch digital display in the center. You can get the full digital dash. I like the old school analog gauges, especially when it says revolutions per minute instead of just RPM. And you're probably saying, wow, revolutions per minute, is that what RPM stands for? Yes, that's what it stands for. And then on the speedometer side, it says ground speed. That's kind of cool. Now, I'm not showing you the back seat. I don't give a damn. I'm not showing you the trunk. I don't care about that. What I do care about, we're going on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do it. All right, guys, we're in this grabber blue Mustang GT. And of course, if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. 10-speed drops down and we are off. And that's the best part about this whole experience is the raw sound. Nothing's getting pumped in through speakers. Nothing's artificial. It's the real deal V8 goodness. And that is something, like I said, the days are numbered. So if you're looking for that muscle car, it might be time to finally jump on one as we move towards electrification. I think one of my favorite things about the Mustang GT is how comfortable the seats are, especially compared to the Camaro or the Challenger. The Challenger, the seats just seem a little too large. And the Camaro, some people might not like the bolstering. This is kind of like the perfect Goldilocks, the in-between of those two. Visibility out the front is great. And I think that going with the analog gauges, it's gonna save you money, but it also gives you that classic look. Hot throttle, here we go, drops down. You can't beat that sound. There's nothing like the real deal sound. And this A10 10-speed automatic fires off shifts like a Gatling gun. Very quick shifts, even does a great job when you get on the binders and you're slowing down of doing proper downshifts. And it never is lost. It's crazy. You would think it would be lost with all those gears, especially when you're getting on throttle, not knowing what gear to be in. It knows exactly where to be. Definitely a better transmission than the Torque Flight 8-speed automatic in the Challenger. And if you're comparing it to the Camaro, well, guess what? The Camaro finally stepped it up, went from the 8-speed to the 10-speed. It's actually the same 10-speed that's in this Mustang GT. I think one of the things that everybody's gonna like about the Mustang GT is just how nice it cruises down the highway. This truly is a daily driver with no issues whatsoever. And sometimes when it comes to having maybe a GT500 or a Mach 1, it may be a little too much for you for that daily commute, but you know what? Still 450 horsepower, plenty of power, plenty of awesome sound, and then you got enough technology so that you can live your life with your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, but it's in the driving of this vehicle that really just makes it so much fun every day to get behind the wheel. Let's see how it handles. I know this isn't the performance version, but we're gonna see how it handles. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Nice downshifts from the 10-speed. Round and round and round we go. There's actually a Challenger right there. Somebody with a cowboy hat. On throttle. Yeah. That V8 sound is worth the price of admission. Look at that downshift. It shifts with such authority. That's what I love about it. Awesome setup with this 10-speed. Like I said, if you want a little bit more engagement with your car, they still got the 6-speed manual. Perfect for you, that you could drive every single day as well, of course. But let's, one last time, see how this car performs from a dead stop. Nobody's behind us. Here we go. On throttle. Hooks up nice. On the brakes. Super smooth. This is why I love these cars. It just puts a smile on your face. But if you're looking for a muscle car, like I said, the days are numbered because the industry is going towards electrification. We're gonna get back to Walker Ford. I hope this has been a good overview for you. We're gonna get back and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a Mustang minute. Guys, it's been a muscle car kind of day here at Walker Ford. I definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Mark, Austin, the whole crew getting us this Grabber Blue. It's actually their first Grabber Blue 2022 Mustang GT. Let me know what you think. Is this platform still worth the price with what you're getting. Would you spend more for a performance pack Mustang GT, or are you just gonna go to the bow tie, or are you a Mopar or no car kind of person and go with the Challenger? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. We got to give it up to the man, the myth, the legend, the muscle behind the lens, Stephen Flood of Stephen Flood Photography, working the magic. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all the steroids that you take to make yourself strong. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.